Ja, sê vir hom. Ja. Ja. Little Afrikaans procedure.
It's just a look and you're like...
My dad always had the look that I was terrified of as well.
No, 100%, yeah.
It was always the...
Also, the moms had that special look also. It's just like you knew it was going to go down if they gave you that look.
Yeah.
Like, also, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Amy. Yo, she's got that look like she'll take you out.
Amy beat the crap out of me any day of the week. I've said that so many times.
But she's like...
Yo. No, Amy put you in your place. So. No, Amy,
I'm more scared of Amy than Steven.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh, run straight at Steven, no problem.
Steven will hurt you physically.
Yeah.
Amy will hurt you physically and emotionally and psychologically as well. Yeah. All aspects of life.
And you might just go missing and never come back.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And no one's going to get any word out of Kitsy.
No,
He's just going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, because he doesn't want to disappear either. You know?
100%.
There we go.
Yeah,
Take that.
100%.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Storytime. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate and love you for the support. We're here today with someone that's an absolute weapon, would beat the crap out of anyone in any room. Absolute legend in the sport of boxing with Dylan Prozza.
Hi there, Josh. Thanks for having me. Sure, thanks.
Thank you for being here, bug. I appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you for
We've wanted to do this for a while.
Yes, we've been trying to line up for a while, yeah.
And it's been my shocking communication that's taken this long.
Life happens, we get busy.
But thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it. Thanks.
So let's reiterate these numbers quickly. Currently, you are ranked second in South Africa, 25th
in Africa,
and 300th in the world.
Yes.
Your record is 6-0-0.
6-0, yeah, 6-0-0.
Yeah. Do they still go 0-0?
Yes, well, it's on the official box record, 6-0-0.
Yeah.
But we just say 6-0 basically.
Yeah. You don't count the draws.
No, it's not
draws
there
on
yet.
losses. Yeah, there you go. I like how you look at that. I
like
how you look at that. So, dude, I was doing a whole lot of research into, obviously, we watched you fight at Fight Island.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously know of you through Matt.
Yes.
And MadFit, shout out to MadFit, incredible gym. I actually did a month there. I have a funny story to tell you from that. I was terrified.
I coached you that day.
For the jiu-jitsu?
No, you came and did a boxing class once.
Yes, I came and did the boxing class. That was upstairs before they moved to the new spot.
Yeah.
I came and did the boxing class with you, and I did like 2-3 weeks of jiu-jitsu.
Yes, I remember.
Terrified. But I'll get into that now. So obviously known of you and your career and the movements within boxing.
Yes.
But I think it was from Fight Island last year onwards that it started becoming a little bit more mainstream, thank you to Matt Leishing.
Yes, 100%.
That he's been really pushing it into the limelight of giving boxing the attention that it deserves within South Africa.
Definitely.
Have you been seeing a shift?
No, 100%. Like boxing in South Africa has always been one of our biggest sports. Like rugby, boxing has been massive in South Africa for such a long time. But we've just seen a bit of old-fashioned boxing at the moment, where the shows are like a bit old school, where it's box and dine, where people are coming and sitting at a table and getting fine dining courses while they're watching boxers, which is cool, but that's very old school. So Matt's bringing a new school, UFC, almost like international look to South African soil. So like he's bringing a whole new spin, new flavor. That's what he did at Fight Island #1 at Culver Beach Club. He brought a bit of a party. He brought a great entertainment show. The crowd was going off. It was so unreal atmosphere. You don't get that anywhere else. Emperor's Palace or Golden Gloves is an amazing atmosphere there, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little bit different. Matt's bringing a whole different spin, a bit of a modern taste. But don't get me wrong, the Golden Glove shows are still amazing. Oh, phenomenal as well. And I like the way that you word it as like old school, new school. And seeing both grow and kind of develop within South Africa. When I had a coffee with Matt towards the end of last year, must have been just before the first Fight Island, and he was explaining to me why boxing was such a passion for him and why he thinks there's so much potential for it within South Africa. And he was saying how back in the day, boxing used to sell out arenas. 100%.
They were like legend boxers from South Africa.
Everyone used to go to watch boxing. From your granny, from your mom, from your sister. They all used to go. You know?
We need to bring that back.
It was a standard, you know?
Okay.
Like nowadays, you're seeing people that have never watched a boxing event ever in their life. It's their first time watching. You know, so it's like, that's what we're trying to bring to Cape Town, is a bunch of people that have never watched a fight before come and watch a fight in like a nice area, nice venue, like upper mark venue, where it's just going to be, you know, next level.
Yeah. Like naively, Fight Island, I think, was my first time watching boxing as well.
Yes, yeah. For a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, and especially at that scale.
Also, it's more accessible when it's in town. Like
100%. Looking at the approach of taking boxing mainstream, this is a question that I like to ask artists, athletes, anyone within an industry that they're passionate and that they love. How do you feel about the sport becoming i.e. mainstream? Do you think it will take a spin of, a lot of people complain about the sort of thing saying like, it's not what it used to be, it used to be that, or do you think it's time for a refresh onto the sport?
The way I look at it is, it's not like it's not changing. It's we just bringing the skills where a lot of people don't know that we've got some unreal talents in South Africa. Nobody knows them because they've never been put in an environment, in a stage, in an opportunity to display their skills and their talents to the world. So it's not like anything's changing, or like it's not like how it used to be. It's we're bringing the old days back, where everyone used to go. Your granny, your mom, your sister, your auntie, they all used to go to the fights. That's what we're bringing back. We're bringing the passion back to boxing.
That's dope.
So that's what we're trying to do. So like, we're bringing the passion back, and that's what we need to do, is like more people start coming. Now Fight Island 2, people are coming again because they're like, that was so cool, let's bring more people, you see. So it's like, that's how it grows, you know. And then people are like, wow, now we see what boxing is, let's support it, and then that's how it grows, you know?
And then it goes bigger, exactly, and you do more of them through the year.
And it's not just like, this person's doing that show, this person, we all boxing together, it's all building boxing together, you know. So it's like, I fight for this promotion, but another person might fight for that promotion, but we all building boxing together, you know?
Because you need each other at the end of the day, right?
Exactly, 100%.
There's a beautiful analogy.
It's the common goal.
Right, everyone wants to go to the same place, which is bigger and greater, right? Like, there's a beautiful analogy that a friend of mine always uses, and it takes me into an area of conversation that I think you're really going to like as well. We were talking about the greats and how they always had a dancing partner, as he quoted it. So McGregor had Khabib. You know, Michael Jordan had competition. Lewis Hamilton had competition. You know, they all have the counter of. And the way we see it as the audience is going like, I bet they hate each other, and there's all this drama, you know. And when actually on the other side of the curtain, they need each other.
100%.
Because that's what brings the pay-per-view. You know, that's what brings the tension, the attraction. It makes it sport.
But in saying that, yes, you need to have Khabib and Conor, but you still got to have you guys, the supporters, the fans, because without you guys, there's no show, because you know who's buying tickets, who wants to watch. Without the people wanting to watch, you know, like a TV program, if nobody's watching, it's going to go under. So it's like you need the people to support,
100%.
because without them, you can't have the fight. You see, that's the way I look at it. You know, it's understanding to have your dance partners. I've got to respect my opponent because we're putting on a good show. I respect my team. I respect all of the supporters that are there to come in to watch, because they're paying their good-earned money to watch a great fight. You see, so that's what we also got to remember as fighters, to put on a great show for the fans. And that's also like, I pride myself in my style, is a very entertaining style. I like to make everyone have a great time. That's the goal at the end of the day, you know?
Drinking an ox hydrate feels like.
Is there no one else? Give it up for still now.
Let's get back to the show.
I can imagine it's such a tricky thing to balance for yourself mentally, whereas you're an athlete, but you're entertaining at the same time. How does that balance for you, where you're training your ass off to be a phenomenal athlete, but you also know that if I put on a great show, the sales do. So, you know what I'm saying? It's such a fine balance.
Yeah, it's like there is a balance, but also it's like, just be who you are. That's who I am. So me being me is entertaining. Me going in the ring and fighting the way I fight and just having fun in there and doing what I love is what makes me entertaining, or makes me what people want to watch. Sometimes people try and be something that they're not, and they fall short, or people see through it, and it always doesn't come across the right way. Then it comes across a bit arrogant, or comes across in not the right way, you see. So just the way I look at it is I just like to be myself, and I've always have been myself, hardworking individual that just goes in there and does what he loves. And the rest, people just enjoy to watch. You know? I don't even think about that sometimes. You know?
You have I'm going to crack an ox quickly. That was a beautiful one right there. What am I? I'm on some peachy. Thank you. I drink these all day.
Yeah.
You have a really, especially having done a class with you, and obviously we've met a couple times in person, hung out, whatever. But like, dude, you have a really beautiful balance of like being an athlete that is aggressive and determined and here to win, but at the same time, you've got like quite a gentle demeanor to you. Not to take away from the fact you're a fucking weapon when you climb in the ring. I want to go into getting into boxing. I know your grandfather was in boxing. What fascinates me is how you manage to keep that balance of being a weapon at the same time, being someone that is humble, gentle, approachable, teachable at the same time. When you got into boxing, what was the reasoning for why you got in? Because it clearly hasn't changed you as a person, but you've just continued to become better and better of an athlete.
Yeah. No, so like boxing is like, sometimes it's hard to explain to people because, you know, they won't ever fully understand, but that's human nature. It's like, only I will know completely myself or whatever, you know, so it's hard to explain sometimes, but the way I look at it is boxing was supposed to be discovered by me, and it is who I am. And so finding boxing, I found myself, if that made sense. So at a young age, I got bullied quite a lot. At a young age, I was a bit of a fat kid. I was living in Australia as a South African, full Dutchman accent coming from Pretoria.
Okay.
I didn't fit in there, you know. I was sitting with a bunch of Australians, and, you know, I really enjoyed living there for that period of time, but it wasn't my home. I got bullied a lot. And I just, you know, I ended up stumbling across a picture of my grandfather, you know, standing in his boxing pose in his old bandage hand wraps, grey and white, old. And I had never seen that picture before. And I was like about 15 years old. I was going through it at that time. I was dealing with a bit of animosity at school and stuff. I saw that picture. I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be confident. Look at that guy. Look at the eye of the tiger in his eyes, you know. My mom always used to say it was the eye of the tiger. So I always wanted to be like that. So I decided, no, I'm going to stand up now. And that's when I got my strength. I realized boxing is what I want to do. And I forgot about everything else. I forgot about the bullies. I forgot about school. I forgot about everything. And I just focused on that all the way until now. So it's been my whole life, you know.
Yeah.
So that's who I am. Boxing is who I am.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to explain to people, but they're like, what do you mean?
That.
Like, don't you go out on the weekend? I'm like, not really.
Really?
Like, for the last 5 years since being at MadFit, it's just been hard work. Only now it's starting to click into place. Getting the Fight Island opportunity, fighting Golden Gloves, coming on a cool podcast, talking about my story. It's only coming to play now. It's all clicking together now, but it's all that unseen work that's where it really counts. You know?
It adds up. Yeah.
So that's what got me in. Was I was getting bullied at school, and then I decided, no, I don't want to be like that anymore. And I just started boxing. Then that's when the passion grew, and I fell in love.
Yeah. What was, if I know this is a bit of a deep question, if I may ask, but like, because I got bullied as a kid as well until my parents realized and took me out of school. I had to redo that year again in a different school. But I was the English kid in an Afrikaans school. So I was very sensitive and fragile, a lot smaller than other kids and whatever. And so I used to physically get the shit kicked out of me by all the rugby kids every day. What was your bullying?
It was quite different in a way. Look, it wasn't, obviously I had few friends that kind of had my back, but it was very much like, didn't fit in. Nobody wanted to, I was kind of an outsider. So like, most of the times I was always left out or was the butts of the joke, or even the guys that were my friends at the time were laughing at me when I was the joke. Like, it was quite more psychological than physical because I was a bit of a strong oak. I played rugby at the time. I was a bit chubby and stuff, but I was still a strong looking guy, and I also took no shit. So like, if somebody did come and push me, I'd push them back, you know. I still remember, this is living in Australia, coming from Pretoria, you know, living in Australia. I go home, I tell my mom about the situation. My mom's like, if you don't come home and you haven't punched him in the face, I'm going to be upset with you. Yeah. That's the Pretoria mom, you know. It's
there
like,
you go.
Yeah,
sort
so I went back to school, punched the oak in the face. All of a sudden, the principals are called, mom's called. You know, South African family, Australian family is like, what's going on? No, it's all good, no problem, sorted, no issue. But then from there, no physical issues were the problem, it was more psychological stuff, you know. Okay. So that was the difficult part about that. But then I just decided to come back here, you know.
There you go, dude.
I'm a South African, you know. That's always who I was. I was that guy at school that would wear his Springbok jersey to Civies Day.
Oh, really?
That was me.
Dude, doing that in Oz is ballsy.
In Australia, that was me. I did that. I used to wave my flag. When the Springboks played, I had a bra. 100%.
I love that. That's so cool.
I used to paint my face, the whole thing.
Really? Always been proud,
It's also like you miss your home, so you almost do it more when you're that side, you know?
Yeah, you feel like you have to overcompensate for the whole room.
Yeah. But it's like mad because like those hard times as being bullied or whatever put me in that direction to go to boxing. Like I still remember the boys at school, I heard them talking about boxing, and I just happened to see my grandpa picture recently. So I heard them talking about boxing classes at a gym nearby. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go and ask the guy, hey, look, I heard you talking about boxing classes. I want to come. Where's the gym? I'm like 15 years old, you know. And he's like, oh no, there's no boxing gym. We don't do boxing. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Next day,
obviously lying.
Yeah,
okay.
Obviously. So the next day I hear another boy talking about it, and they're all in the same group. They're talking about, the boxing session, the jab, whatever. So I go and ask that boy. I'm like, hey, look, I asked Johnny, but he said, no, that's just a random name. But you just ask that guy.
He's Johnny now, yeah.
Asked that guy, but he didn't say, he said you went boxing, but are you boxing? He says, no, we're not boxing. We don't know where the gym is. So I was like, now I know. These oaks are just being stupid or whatever, and they're trying to hide the gym. So I still couldn't find the gym because also I'm 15. I don't know where the gym is, you know?
Yeah.
So I just started doing it at my house. So I go on YouTube, how to start boxing. It was a thing about a string and a mirror and like tape on the floor. I literally would do footwork on the floor for 2 hours straight. Put music on, for 2 hours straight, I would do footwork on the floor. This was before I even went to a boxing gym. Then Google, found the boxing gym. And then I went there and I knew I was going to see them. I went there, I got there, they were all there. They're like, all their faces were like, oh, he found the gym.
Yeah, he found it.
And then, the first session I was horrible. Second session I was horrible. Third day I kept coming back. Fourth day, I already knew how to wrap my hands. They're still getting the coach wrapping their hands. So I started to overtake them. And that put me in an even more worse position because now I was that serious boxer kid. So then they isolated me even more. So it was like, didn't really even care, to be honest with you, because I had the love of the boxing, you know, so that's how it went. Even went to my mom, like 16, like a year later, Mom, I'm leaving school, you're going to help me leave school, I'm going to go be a pro boxer.
Really?
This is what I want to do.
Called it,
I said to the mom when I was 16 years old, I wanted to leave school. Also, school wasn't working out for me, I wasn't doing well with school, I was focusing on the boxing. My mom said, my boy, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Only 1% of people, I still remember this, my mom and I talk about this often. She often now comes back and says that I've changed it, but she said to me that only 1% of people get to chase their dreams. And my boy, unfortunately, you either need to get a job or stay at school. I said, Mom, 18, I'm walking out the gates, or you can help me. So she said, well, you're going to have to get a job. You can't not just do this full time. I said, okay, cool. So I got a job. Worked as a mechanic for 2 years, still.
Really? You worked as a mechanic? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I worked as
in Oz, eh?
In Australia,
okay.
Yeah. So from like 17 to 18, I worked in a mechanic shop for like, doing my apprenticeship. Kind of fell out of love with boxing a bit, got a bit overweight and like, you're studying, whatever, but I still kept trying to go to boxing. I kept trying. I was still fighting at the time. I was like going to work, working all day in the mechanic shop, lifting tires, straight from there to the boxing gym, train, go home, study personal training, and then do it all again the next day. And then one day I said to my mom, I'm going on holiday to South Africa, go visit my uncle. Never came back.
Really? When was that?
That was when I was 19.
And you now?
25.
It's a long holiday.
Turning 26 in... it's a long holiday.
It's a very long holiday.
Yeah, 2026 this weekend, yeah.
Oh shit, happy birthday, dude. That's so gangster. There we go, happy birthday.
Thanks.
That's sick. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, you've been one determined fucker to make it happen. Well done, dude. What's awesome is your mom goes, only the 1% get to chase the dream. You are the 1%.
The full story with that was she phoned me a few years ago and she says, you are that 1%. I'm proud of you, my boy. And that was like the best moment in my life, hearing that from my mom.
That's all you need, dude. As a son, dude, that's all you need to hear.
Because then from there, I ended up in Durban because that's where my family was originally from.
Yes.
Lived with my uncle from 19 until 20. And then I was like, there was no boxing. I was in a rural area. There wasn't like a whole lot of boxing going on. I wasn't getting fights. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, should I like go back to Australia and just go box there, or should I stay here and try and go to a different province, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me just try this one more time, because I was like thinking maybe I'll just go back to my apprenticeship. So I was like, let me just try this one more time. So I went to a local gym, and there was like a local trainer there. His name was Isaiah, and he was a super cool guy, local guy of the area, and he just kind of took me under the wing. We trained for like a few weeks. Then I was like, Isaiah, I would like to fight. He's like, look, the fighting here is very different to fighting in Australia. Like, fighting in Australia, it's nice. You get bloods get tested, so nobody's got any diseases. It's all safe that side. Like, you wear headgear and nice boxing gloves. In South Africa, it's different. So it's like you're fighting with not so nice gloves, a bit old, or the rules and regulations can be a bit different and stuff. So he's like, cool, you want to fight? Let's do this. So he takes me to Commercial Township in Durban. Super uncomfortable environment. I arrived there, I'm like, geez, super uncomfortable environment. I was wearing the wrong t-shirt. So I get in the ring. First of all, the ring is held up by 2 oil drums. Get in the ring, it's like, you got
you're joking.
No, you got 2 90.
You're fighting on a balancing beam.
You got 2 90-kilo guys in the ring. The referee, I remember bouncing, and the ref going like this, looking at me like, stop. It was oil drums. And then anyway, so we started the fight. Oh, sorry, they say wrong t-shirt. They make me change the t-shirt. They throw it. It's like a sweaty one from the guy from before. I'm like, fuck, man, this thing is so uncomfortable. Anyways, now I'm like scared now. Like, it's a scary situation. You're like, now I'm in it. It's like I said, let's try it, but now you're in it. Then the guy comes. He wasn't the greatest fighter at all, but like, he still came. He was still keen. I hit him with the overhand, and he just went. He fell. He hugged my legs, and then was wobbly, and then the fight was over. But that's what led me to Matt. I posted that to Instagram.
I was going to ask, what was the link that made you choose here?
So that was why it's so crazy to me. Sometimes I don't even realize, I don't know how I'm here actually sometimes. It happened just by somebody scrolling and seeing a video. I posted that video of that knockout to Instagram. Like, maybe the next day, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Maybe I can do boxing. Even just knocking the guy out. Just what I know. Next day, Matt comments on that video. Send this to me on WhatsApp. And then 2 seconds later, he sends me a DM with his number. So I go, okay, cool, get the number. And I check, oh, shit, this looks like a boxing guy. He's got like fighters, and he's got like, I see Don Madge there. I'm like, geez, this guy's the real deal. I'm like, yo, this, if anywhere I need to be, this is where I need to be. So I send him the video. He's like, hey, why don't you, I'm like 20 at the time. He's like, why don't you come to Cape Town for a free trial, come do a month here, and then let's see if we work out. So I was like, okay, cool. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but let me make a plan. So I phoned my dad. He's like, hey, well, that's a bit hectic. Like, we're going to fly you there. You're going to stay there for a whole month. That's quite a lot. Like,
that's a lot of cash, yeah.
So he's like, but we're going to help. We're going to make that investment. So they made that investment and sent me to Cape Town. First week of knowing Matt, he put me in 2 fights. So he didn't give me the easiest road. He actually like tested me more than I've seen any other guys that come through the gym. 2 fights in the same week. He was testing me, and we won them both. So that's how
there you go.
That's how me and Matt met. It's a crazy story, actually. Like, I actually can't believe it sometimes.
Where were you crashing while you were here?
So I was staying in an Airbnb for that first month.
Yeah.
Like, I had those 2 fights in the first week, and then I went back to the gym.
The first week.
First week, I knew Matt. I think I knew Matt a day. Sorry, I met him. Then the next day we fought, and then the end of the week we fought in an in-house fight in the gym. So it was still technically a fight, but it was like 2 back-to-back fights. We won both of them. Jeez. But it was just like, hey, like, obviously I wasn't great at the time, but throughout the years we've improved. Yeah. But that's how it all started. It's mad. It's crazy. Now I'm here 6-0 with Matt,
How insane, dude. Number 2 in the country.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost by accident we met,
Literally through Instagram. Shout out Instagram. Yeah. Jeez, like, has your view of boxing changed from then to now in 100%. Terms of like 100%. How has it changed?
In multiple ways. Like you change as a fighter. Like when I was younger, it was all about proving people wrong. It's all about proving those guys that didn't want to tell me where the gym was, or proving those people wrong, or proving the person that said to me I can't do it wrong. Then later in life, you get perspective through fighting and through training and through seeing other fighters that it's actually not, it's about proving them right. It's about proving all the people that believe in you right. And who cares about the people that don't believe in you? You see, so it's like, what changed the most for me is the understanding of the game in a sense of it's not so deep. Yes, it's a fight and it's important, but a lot of guys build it up so big in their head that they get to the big moment and they can't operate. It's like, that's the moment you need to be focusing on. So when you're in the gym, that's all important, yes. You need to be fit and strong and train hard, but at the end of the day, it matters what you do in the ring.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to separate that, that like anxiety and focus it into the right direction and use it to win that competition. So that's how I would say how my mindset has changed, is it changed from physical to mental. I used to think boxing was being strong, fit, I can run this far, I can go this many rounds. But you can go as many rounds as you want. But if you don't have the mind, you're not sharp, you're not thinking about what you're doing, you can't do all those rounds. So I've realized boxing is more of a mental game than a physical game. Yes, hand in hand, but more mental than physical. That's what the biggest thing people don't understand. They see a fighter as like, oh, he's just a fighter. Oh, meanwhile, we're actually quite intellectual.
You have to.
We're soft people.
It's like chess.
You know, we're not always hard people, you know. It's not like they put fighters in a box. Some guys are intense, some guys are complete personalities, and then in the ring they're different, you see. I've got a bit of a switch, you know.
No, you definitely do. Yeah, it was so much fun watching you at Fight Island. Yes, you murdered that, okay.
Thanks, man.
I was sitting with Amy.
He was a tough guy,
because you kept hitting him in the face and he didn't go down.
Yeah, he was a tough
through
guy,
all the rounds, we were like, everyone's going, ooh, throughout, like, and I'm going, when's this like going to hit the deck?
My favorite part is the reactions to the fight.
Yes,
it's the best.
It's one thing watching fighting on TV and then you watch it in person.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's completely different.
When you actually hear the hits.
See the sweat flying off their head also is like, man. And the cool thing about Carbo and Fight Island, it's so intimate. It's like, you're right there by the
low cover as well.
Right there, you know? It's so cool. Like, it's also, as a fighter, you feel the crowd, you feel the energy, and it makes you want to perform better. You know? It's like when the Stormers are running out to a full stadium, that must be the best feeling ever.
It's the best feeling in the world. You know? What are the things that you've implemented into your life or your training that has helped you build the mental side?
So I would say it's for the last, ever since I came to Cape Town, I basically said to myself, now, we're here, throw yourself in. Throw it all the way. Throw yourself all the way in. So the first few years, the first like maybe 3 years, I threw myself and I isolated myself from everything. I threw myself into boxing. Didn't want to do anything else. Didn't want to go out on the weekends. Didn't want to go see friends. I was just at the gym, home, at the gym, home. And I was putting in those hours and that hard work and, going through some difficult times, but that love for the boxing was always there and just kept going, stacking those hours, stacking those unseen hours. And then eventually start getting some success. And you're like, okay, now that piece clicks into place. Then I started to realize that I can't completely isolate myself. It's actually starting to bring me back away from what I'm trying to achieve. Okay. It's actually breaking me down again. So yes, there is a level to some isolation where not going out on the weekends and missing that birthday or whatever, but then I realized the social aspect is also what's needed to stop thinking about boxing a little bit, getting a bit of a break and not thinking about that specific thing that you're working on and then coming back to it. Not like doing like 2 weeks off and not training. I'm just saying like, go to the beach with your friend or go to the park with your girlfriend and just take your mind off boxing for a little bit, you know? That's the one thing I've implemented a bit now, is just to relax a little bit more. And remember, these are memories at the end of the day, and just have fun.
100%.
You know, like, I feel like I was a little bit too serious early on in my career. Like, only this year, I'm really enjoying it. I'm having fun. Even my hardest fights, my whole career that I just had now, I had fun. I said to Matt, as soon as I got out, I said, Matt, that was so much fucking fun. It was fucking hard, but it was fun. The hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it was so much fun.
Was this the Fight Island one?
No, I fought now 2 weeks ago in Golden Gloves, Empress Palace.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So that was like Nana, and that was a 6-round war, and we went back and forth, and it was unanimous points decision, but he was there to win. He came to win, and he was a very good opponent, and I had a lot of fun with him. You know, he came to bang that day, and I hit him with some big shots, and he decided to keep coming. But this fight was one of my hardest fights, not just because of what he brought, but the adversity and things that you go through as a sportsman is you're always going through ups and downs, and also like yourself as an actor, you're going ups and downs in a career or preparation for a show or a movie, or there's always like uncertainty in certain areas, you know. So it's like a week before my fight, like sometimes it just happens, you know. It is how it is. A week before my fight, I injured my hand slightly. It wasn't a big, massive injury, small one. And then we were like, no, it's going to be fine. We're still going to be able to compete, do the whole week, get to the fight, no issue. Gloves on, no problem. And we start fighting. I'm beating the guy, doing my thing, getting my rhythm. And then I hit him with the right hand, and the right hand decides to go boom. And then I couldn't really use the right hand the rest of the fight. So I had to kind of use the left hand. And then I was still throwing the right hand, but I was using it to set up combinations.
Okay.
So then that was the adversity to overcome. And then I overcame that adversity and won the fight. But then what's so interesting about that is, like, you go train after that, or you go for a run next week or whatever, your perception of hard has changed. So now what you thought was hard before was there. Now you surpass that into a different level of hard. So like the other stuff kind of feels a little bit easier now that was hard before.
Dude, so that's a great way to word it.
So your perception of hard changes, which is so crazy. It's like, it's mad actually. Like, the next time I fight 6 rounds, it won't be so intense, because the goal is to build up to 12.
Yeah.
So it's
that's our
interesting.
clip out from this episode. Your perception of hard has changed. You've surpassed it, and now you understand a different level of difficulty.
Exactly. Yeah, because you've done something extremely hard. You know, you've set that bar.
Yeah.
And then again, like, I'll fight an 8-round fight. It might be harder than that. Set the new bar. Maybe my next fight's not so hard. Maybe I catch him early in the first round and I put him away. Or, you know, so like the thing is now, it's like also thinking about not having that tool anymore, not having my biggest weapon.
You have to find a solution.
So I had to go into a different like mode. And in the last 2 rounds, I had to dig. You've got to dig deep. You find that like extra level of your like soul. You know, like you don't know the levels. You discover the levels of soul throughout life. You know, so it's like you dig deep. My coach gets in the last round and he says to me, "Though, you know that fireman speech? Like, we firemen, we live in the fire. That's now."
Oh,
like,
dude, I would be
like,
hyped.
In my head, I'm like, "Oh, let's go." And I just remember switching the thoughts off. And I just said, "Who cares about the right hand?" And I just started throwing it. And the last round wasn't like, obviously we both tired guys. Like, we've been going for fucking 5 rounds straight. Now it's the last round. And now we're just throwing. We're not stopping. We're trading. The crowd was going mad. It was like next level. It was the most, it's like the best feeling in the world is those moments like that. And in a ring like that, in a fight like that, is a true extension of who I am. So that's why I'm addicted to fighting. So like, anytime there has to be a break, or anytime I miss a fight, or somebody pulls out of a fight, it's gut-wrenching, because that's what you love to do. You know?
That happened recently, right? That
last year, I fell off a motorcycle. I couldn't fight for like 12 weeks. I was out for like 12 weeks. I missed 2 fights. That mentally made me struggle a little bit, you know. But that mental struggle made me stronger mentally. Yeah. So I overcame that mental.
It's gonna happen.
It's crazy.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Injuries are part of the game.
Yeah. And if you want to be great, they got to happen, and you got to overcome them, right?
Like now, that's what I've become used to, is getting used to the niggles and getting used to injuries and things like that. And just you take it in your stride, and you go day by day, week by week, and you take fight by fight.
Yeah. 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 I want to ask you a few questions along the line of trying to put myself in your shoes, right?
Yes.
So, like, I look at the experience that I've had, like the month I did it, MadFit. I'd boxed for about 1.5 years with someone else and thoroughly enjoyed it. I just literally kept hurting myself because I'm an idiot. And then I did a year with Henzo Gracie doing jiu-jitsu, which was so much fun as well. And I haven't been back in like a year now. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, jiu-jitsu is it's like that.
So sick.
When you're up, you're up, and when you're down, you're down. It's
dude, once you miss 1 or 2, you're like,
That's it. I know I'm going to get flattened if I go back.
Yes.
But like, I know I want to.
100%.
Like, it's difficult.
And I make up every excuse in the book. Dylan gets so bleak with me, and I'm like, it's my tendonitis, it's my this, it's my that. It's just me being a bitch, but and not having time right now. But I look at the switch that you have to have when being a fighter, of deciding, okay, it's time for me to fight. I can imagine that there's a lot of nerves leading into a fight, purely because it's a fight. because it's a big event, because there's a lot of people watching, because it's your record, because it's who you are. So I can imagine there's a lot of nerve leading that way, right? When you finally at the event, and again, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. I'm at the event, I've got to walk out and I've got to fight this guy now. Is there any sense of nerves left at that point? It's gone. So what is going through your head? Because again, I'm going like, I go back to what we said at the beginning of, yes, you entertaining, but you're also an athlete. There's also the element of, it's a sport, it's a competitive sport, but you also kicking the shit out of someone, you know? So there is that element of like, it's me versus you, someone's gonna go down, right? So what's going through your head knowing that that's what you're about to step into as a fighter? Like, I'm gonna go beat the crap out of someone. What's the...
Well, look, fighters aren't normal people, you know, like that's the way I like to say it to people. Like, sometimes people, like, they look at me funny, or like they see a video of you sparring, or they see a fight, and like, they don't understand, you know. I say that to people sometimes because we are different in a sense where I know it sounds crazy, you know, like Stephen loves the physical contact in a scrum or a tackle. I enjoy punching people in the face, and I enjoy it's part of my love. Is like, I don't just go and train all those hours in the gym for no reason. It's somebody's going to pay for that, you know. It's like, it's some fighters are there for a sport. Some fighters bring things outside the ring into the ring. You know, I love to fight. I love to compete, but also I like to beat people. You know, I'm not trying to sound like
no.
Funny thing. It's just
you aren't at all.
It's part of who I am. You know, it's like under that surface layer. It's like what I like to do. You know, but like that mindset. What you're saying is like that pressure of the record, and can't lose the record, and this person's got pressure on me. This person's got pressure on me. And Don Madge used to say to me, like, early on in my career as an amateur, I used to deal with a lot of nerves. And a lot of times I would try and knock the guys out because I was scared. So I'd be like trying to end it as early as I possibly can, because like I'm actually kind of nervous to be here. But then as you grow and you experience, and each fight you have, you start to realize, actually, no, you can handle it. It's like now, the first movie that you're on set of, it's like, Jesus, it's fucking hectic.
Yeah.
But then you understand your own mental aspects to get through that. And then the next one you go to, you apply a bit of that, and then you see, actually, yes, that worked, but now I need to apply this. Each time you do that thing, you become a little bit more aware of what's happening, but you have to be mentally aware of it. People don't think about that sometimes. So like, now having that experience with each fight, I used to get way too hyped before fights. Literally only in the last two fights, the one you saw me at Fight Island and this one, I was calm in the change rooms. Normally I get too hyped. Like the fight before Fight Island, I was punching the wall in the change rooms, getting
you were
way
like
too hyped.
Full Mike Tyson.
Way too hyped.
Yeah.
Way too hyped. So I go into the ring and I'm ready to fucking kill someone, and I throw 600 punches in the first minute. So it's like that way too hyped, then crashes. So it doesn't work out for the competition. So then you start to learning how to control the mental aspect, when to go. So it's like almost like a hose pipe that you're holding. It's like you're just letting
letting it go.
You're letting the aggression go, and then you get back to your skills. You're letting the aggression go, and then you get back to your skills. Because for me as an athlete, every athlete's different. So like some athletes, like Dean, my training partner, he's a very like monotone guy. Like he doesn't get like too hyped. He doesn't get too relaxed. He's just at that perfect like. He's like quite emotionless in that way. He doesn't get too emotional in fights, and he's quite good like that. Me, I get a bit emotional in fights sometimes. So I have to understand that about myself and apply that each time I go into the fight. You know? So that was the game plan for Fight Island, and this fight was, Matt was trying to get me away from that raw power, punch hard, knock people out type guy, into using my skills and working on that. So that Fight Island fight, a lot of people were tuning me after the fight that, you didn't knock him out and you could have stopped him early, but they didn't know what we were doing. We were practicing. So it's like we were doing 5 rounds to get experience. So now imagine I do a bunch of 1 rounds and then I fight 12, got no experience.
True.
Getting some experience, also figuring things out, you know.
What happens here? What happens when I do this?
And then in this fight we applied the same thing. Now the next fight we bring it all together. So it's like that progression of getting better, and that's the thing with martial arts. There's no end destination. It's just you gotta love it.
It's a process.
You gotta love it. It's like some guys that get obsessed with getting a stripe on their belt. or getting a specific belt. Yes, you must strive for that, but you must also do it because you love what you're doing, what you're learning.
Yeah. There was a quote you made along these lines. Now you go into game plan, strategy, why we do what we do. I'm not just a power hitter. I just don't have, And you said, I like to come forward, but I have the ability to fight in different styles. I'm blessed with power, and I have a bit of a mean streak. I enjoy hurting opponents, and I want to entertain the crowd. Why I wrote that down is because if you look at everything we've spoken on now, in terms of different fight styles, the power, the mean streak you mentioned as well, the hurting opponent, and that you actually enjoy that side to it, and then the entertainment side as well. It's such a nice rounded statement that you made of like, I'm here to do this, but I'm more than good enough that I have all these other options as well, and here's why I'm here. It's such a cool way to sum up why you do what you do.
No, definitely, yeah.
When you finish your fight, I've got to ask you on that experience, to go into a fight and win, there must be a difference between a knockout win and like a decision win. Is there a...
To be honest with you, I've had some knockouts that are not satisfying at all.
Really?
So my second pro fight, I stopped the guy in the first round after a minute, but I put in about 8 weeks of training. It's like, it's unsatisfying. It's like you get there, you put all in the work, and also like I wanted to feel that work,
Yeah.
But that was also a little bit of ego, is you want to feel. But anyway, so like I've had some knockouts that aren't satisfying, but I've had some knockouts that are like the best feeling in the world. Like I've had one of my knockouts I fought in Joburg was the best. I felt like I was on top of the world. Like I couldn't sleep that night.
Really?
I went and ran the next day. I was so on top of the world that it was just like the best feeling ever. But I must say, like when you prove yourself that you can do something, that's when it's the most satisfying. Like for me, I know I can knock people out. I know I can hit hard, but I proved myself something on the 2nd of March that I can go 6 rounds. Yeah. I can use my skills. I can be relaxed. I can, at moments when I'm going through adversity, I can handle the adversity. I know I've got a heart for the hard rounds. And like all that hard work I put into that training camp was the best training camp I had. Something happened right at the end that put me off, but we continued, we went through. That's what I'm proud of, is I'm proud of the camp, and I'm proud of that fight. So that to me is my favorite fight to date, including all of my knockouts. So to date, that's my best fight, going the distance.
Yeah. And are you coming out with any sense of going like, let me just catch my breath, chill for a little while, or you coming out going, when's the next one?
So I'm a fighter. I love to fight.
Okay, so you coming out.
I'm addicted to fighting, and I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes my coach is like, just relax. My coach is always pulling me back. So he's the one that really actually is the reason why I'm in this position today, because there would have been moments I would have done things that would have jeopardized my career, or overtrained, or taken the wrong fight at the wrong time. He's always pulling me back and making sure that we're not rushing, because it's a career, and it's a career. It's not a 1 year thing. It's not a 2 year thing. It's a career. Also, you want to maximize, it's a sport. You're an athlete. You're also a fighter that's in a combat industry. You've only got so many years. So you want to make sure that you maximize them. You want to take unnecessary fights and dangerous fights that could put you in a really dangerous position too early in your career. Obviously, you get to a stage where you got to take 50-50 fights and take the big shots. And that's where we want to go to. So like me and Matt's dream is to go as far as we possibly can, take some big fights, 50-50. We don't know if we're going to win or not, but let's go try. Like Drickers, I look up to Drickers massively, because he had a dream and he just fucking went for it, Everybody was saying no, but he was like, you don't know.
Jeez, dude, I'm glad you bring that up, because we had Drickus on. I still cannot remember this bloody name for the life of me. He fought Ben Askren.
Who, Drickus?
Yeah.
No. Ben Askren was the guy that fought Jake Paul, remember?
Who was it that he fought?
Robert Whittaker?
Before
Robert.
I can't get this bloody name. I was trying to tell someone this afternoon.
Yeah.
This guy retired straight after fighting Drickus.
Yeah.
That's why I keep thinking Ben Askren, because he retired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who it was, but anyways, and we had him over Zoom.
Yeah.
In our older studio.
Yeah.
And we basically spent the first 20, 30 minutes about fighting, the second 20, 30 minutes talking about Castlelight, Bry, being South African. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I remember then already that he was getting the hate of like, there's no ways.
Yeah, 100%.
Surely
even
not.
Even us, even I was like, Jesus, Robbie Whittaker, are you mad?
Right?
That looks good. But then, but that was also, then there was also a bit of part of me that was like, no, but I believe in him, you know? So 100%. It's like, that's what it's about. Like the way Drickus fights is like the definition of us South Africans. The same way the Springboks goes and plays it's the definition. The way they play is South African. You know what I mean?
South Africans, like I feel like we always have something to prove. I feel like it's really easy to hate a South African.
No, well, the whole world hates South Africans in serious, but they love us at the same time. Like,
I'm glad you saying it as well, though, because
it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
They like us, but they don't.
Yeah, it's weird. Like they all want to be friends with us, but they also kind of want to keep us on the outside.
Yes, exactly. We want to be friends with you when you're on that side of the fence. Don't come join here.
It's like when I was living in Australia and the Springboks were playing the Wallabies. Yes, they used to hate our family. My dad used to put flags outside of his house. And like the Aussies, they don't like losing in sport. I must say,
because they lose all the time. I've got a lot of Aussie friends and I love them, but I do not like your rugby team.
That's the one.
Darren Tull. Yeah. Thank you. Did you know that or did you have to Google that?
No, I asked.
Oh, did you Google it? Yeah. I was about to say, if you remember the name and I didn't know the so upset, thank you for Googling that. Darren Tull, that's who it was. He's now doing bare knuckle.
Yeah, or I don't know, he's fighting influencers, I don't know.
Is he doing the influencer thing as well?
I think he was, yeah.
Who?
Derek Brunson, that was before Whittaker.
Derek. Yeah, that was Derek Brunson after Darren Till, but before Whittaker. Yeah. Forgot about that one. Yeah. That was a submission.
That was in 23. It was a knockout, technical
knockout.
Who was the sub against? Sorry that I'm getting this wrong, Drickus. I apologize. I should pay more attention.
Till was submitted.
Till was submitted. Okay, and then Till retired. I'll never forget because I said on the show, Drickus, you're going to retire him, and then he retired afterwards, and I was like, I'm a G, even though I took a fat guess. Yeah. Okay, I'm with it. Okay, thank you for going through that. So what is your, like from here, right? Obviously, second in the country, goals to be first. That's not even a questionable, right? In terms of boxing as an industry, as a sport, how does it work for you now going forward?
Well, so the cool thing for me is I'm the fighter. That's my job. My job is just to train, be in a good condition, make weight, get in the ring and win. That's my job. So I've got a great team around me. I'm at MadFit, but I've been there for a long time now, and I'm really surrounded by some next level like people that we've got a real system. Like I see some other places and stuff that I won't say, but I see other places that they don't really have like a system, you know. So like we've got a system and it works. And so all the boxers go through the same system, all the MMA fighters, all the jiu-jitsu, all the members fits into the system, you know. So it's like I've got that team of Matt, Wade, Don, countless guys that I can't even mention. That the team is so strong and bound that that's what makes it happen at the end of the day. My coach is my manager and as well as my promoter, and Rodney Berman is also my promoter. They will tell me what my fight is. So Coach Matt says, okay, cool, though. Your next date is this. We're fighting a 6-rounder, or we're fighting for a title, or we're doing 8 rounds. This is the guy you're gonna fight. Cool. I sign the contract, start training camp, and we prepare for that situation. Okay. So I don't really have a whole lot of say. Yes, I can say no, I don't want to fight that guy, but I'm never gonna say that. If Matt says I trust Matt, if Matt says we're gonna fight this guy, I say yes, coach, and I sign. Okay. That's how much I trust Matt, and that's what's important in this game, especially boxing, is there's no team. In the ring, when something is going wrong, I can't kick the soccer ball to somebody else. Yeah. You know, you get knocked out in front of your whole family. Hand over responsibility. You know what I mean? You get knocked out in front of your whole family. So that's the thing about fighting, and some people don't realize sometimes is that at the end of the day, boxing, when you lose, it's not just like losing a game. You know, losing a game is also massive. Don't get me wrong. But it's more physical than that, you know. So it's like in boxing, there's this weird thing, you lose, everyone forgets about you. But you know, like also at the end of the day, I just love it and I have fun and I love my team and my team love the game. And that's what separates us, is we do it because we love it. We're not trying to be anybody that we're not. We're passionate about the game, and it shows through the gym, and it shows through the guys that are competing out of the gym. Like we've got some of the best up-and-coming prospect boxers. We've got a great jiu-jitsu team, as you know. We've got a new breed of MMA fight, young MMA amateurs coming through.
Yeah.
So it's like the system has been working, but now it's starting to shine through. You know, so it's such a great environment to be surrounded by.
Dude, I give massive credit to MadFit.
Yeah, Don and Matt, they basically, they are helping combat sports in the Western Province.
1,000%, dude. Like, if there's anyone that like really cares and like to the point of like backs himself more than anyone else I've ever seen, it's Don and it's
100%,
Matt,
yes,
dude.
definitely,
Like, do not tell them different.
That's the thing is like, Matt's my friend, Don's my friend, but also they're my bosses and they're my coaches. So many times Matt's like, hey, you didn't listen to me. So it's like us at MadFit, we're very good at separating the friendship, the work relationship, as well as the coaching relationship. So when Matt says something to me about the coaching, the fighting aspect, I understand because he's saying it from the coach aspect, you know. And then there's times we're friends, and it's that relationship and understanding each other and being on the same page. Like Don's my nutritionist and my conditioning coach. He communicates with Matt communicates with him, they communicate with me. So it's all about the communication and the people that you have around you. So like I say it's an individual sport, but without them, I could never get in the ring. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They've got such like the last time we went to MadFit, we watched Seb fight.
Yes, yeah.
Seb did an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, the people in that room, it's so cool.
That atmosphere in that gym,
crazy.
Jesus, it was hot in there. Yo.
Dude, it's so
But everyone loves heavyweights. So when they see the big boys, the energy is different in the ring. Even like people that don't know fighting, they see two big boys walking. The room vibrates a bit there. It's like
oh
people,
boy.
The people are like, oh, now we talk.
Someone's gonna get hit hard.
Everyone loves knockouts.
Yeah,
you know,
it's such a special experience to be surrounded by people that are so passionate about what they love.
100%, definitely.
It's the best feeling, and I've got so much respect for the sport. Like we were at the EFC last week. I've got so much respect for the sport because at the end of the day, it's boxing, MMA, martial arts as a whole. Dude, it's guys climbing in a ring in front of thousands of people in their underwear going, either you're going to get knocked out or I'm going to get fucking knocked out.
And
someone's going down.
And then you hear them talk to each other. Like you hear Dricker say to Strickland, like, it's either you or me, like I'm willing to die in here. But that's the truth.
He means that stuff when he says it. Yeah.
He means that. But
like,
also
I don't think people grasp that.
You have to be that serious though. Like with fighting, you can't be 1 foot in. You can't be in and you have to either be in or you be out.
Yeah, because you'll get knocked out if you're 1 foot in.
And like if you're not careful, it can be lifelong injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some people don't respect boxing, and that's the one thing nowadays that there has been some loss in respect for boxing, in a sense of like people don't respect the game of boxing anymore, where they take the wrong fights, or they're doing the wrong weight divisions, or rushing through injuries, or I just feel like the respect from back in the day that fighters had for each other is not so much there anymore. Like the showboating in the ring and like dancing in front of your opponent. I just feel like what's happened to some of the respect in the game, you know. So that's what I like to hope to bring back, as a bit of that old school flavor, that golden era flavor, where that's my favorite generation of fighters, where they fought each other because they wanted to be the best. They wanted to test themselves. They wanted to see how good they actually were. Yeah. That's what I would like to bring back, is like a bit of my style, and show that I've got skills and ability to be able to show and be a sharp, clean boxer, but also at times to fight. And at the end of the day, it is a fight. So sometimes we get caught in trying to be clean and like jabbing and feinting, but at the end of the day, it's a fight. It's whoever wins. It doesn't matter how you win it. You win. Yeah. You know, so.
Do you think the introduction of like, I feel, not even that I feel, I know this is for fact, that someone like Conor McGregor changed the game.
Oh, 100%, completely.
I mean, you had the same with Floyd.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather.
That whole approach he had.
He's what changed the game completely, and that's what's taken a bit of the spin into. Yeah. The kids forgot the kids that were looking at him. Sorry to interrupt you. The kids that were looking at him. The kids that were looking up to Floyd, they didn't see Floyd putting in the hours in the gym, training for fights, winning fights, losing fights. they didn't see that. They just saw the flashy stuff. So they thought they just got to do the flashy stuff. Meanwhile, they weren't putting the work in. They were doing all the flashy stuff, trying to be cool. Like, too many people are so focused on how, like a funny story is, like, when I was younger, I was doing a school project, you know. I was never great at school. I was always just drawing my book or whatever, you know. Think about boxing.
Drawing boxing.
Yeah, so I had to write an essay for English or whatever. And that was my worst. Writing essays for English was my worst, because like slight ADHD and that sort of stuff. So it's like I struggled to sit there and write something, you know. So I'm like drawing the border around the page, like the squiggly lines, make it colorful.
Oh, there we go.
Draw the picture frame before I've even written anything. My dad walks past, he's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "No, I'm just drawing the border of my essay." He's like, just remember, don't like do all the pretty stuff first. Get the thing done first.
Damn.
Get the main important thing done, and then you can do the flashy stuff. Then like go do the 6-round sparring and the 8 weeks of training. Then maybe you can worry about like if you've got red on your shorts or if you've got blue on your shorts, you know. But that's also things.
Great analogy.
Floyd like made it seem to these kids that it's all about the show, but it also matters what you do in the ring. You know, at the end of the day, it's whatever you. Everyone remembers you from your last performance.
100%, dude. 100%. Yeah. Everyone remembers the last outcome. That's what you're known as.
100%,
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what you have coming up now? It's Fight Island soon?
Fight Island. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the go-ahead from the specialist in regards to my hand. So it's still looking like we're going to be on Fight Island, but I'm waiting for the specialist to pull the trigger on Monday to just fully confirm, but we're going to be most likely Fight Island. And then I've got a massive fight in July, probably my biggest fight of my career so far. It's going to be a rematch with the guy I just fought. Here, it's not going to be announced yet, but it's going to be my biggest fight, and we're looking to rematch. Hasn't been done yet, but that's what we're looking at. July in Cape Town, big rematch, massive fight. Try bringing all the Cape Town fans there.
Oh yeah, go to that.
As well as Fight Island 2, guys. Don't forget to grab your tickets. April 26th. It's going to be a great show.
It was lekker jol last time, dude.
But this one's going to be even better. This one's going to be even better.
Oh yeah, Matt's
more
killing
people.
it.
Yeah, it's going to be lekker. So there's going to be some unreal fights.
Yeah.
There's going to be some big heavyweights. Dean's going to be fighting. Ariel's going to be fighting. It's going to be a great card.
I'm keen, dude. We'll see you there, Bugger. But thank you for coming in. Thank you for having
me, Josh.
Thank you for doing this, man. I'm really excited about what you're doing.
No, thanks. I appreciate for having me and the support, dude, and all that.
Always, dude. Congrats on everything you've done till now, dude. It's always a special time to sit down and, you know, I've worked really hard to want to do the things that I love. You've done the same.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So I have immense amounts of respect for people that get to do what they love. So
no, 100%.
Well done.
That's it. Yeah. Sure. Thanks.
Thank you for your time, Bugger. This was lekker, man. Dude, you smashed this. This was a walk in the park for you, dude. I'm not used to
talking so much like that.
No, dude, talk. Go for it.
Yeah. No, it was cool. That was lekker. Shot, man.
Dude, you're welcome anytime you want to come.
You tune me.
Anytime.
I'm always keen to do this sort of stuff.